Every economy is a mixed economy. A mixed economy blends three basic types of economic systems. These are markets, or the market system, command or command and control, also perhaps called socialist or totalitarian or communist, and also tradition. Some economies rely more heavily on one method than others. Hong Kong is a good example of an economy that relies heavily on the market system. North Korea is a good example of a country that relies heavily on the command and control system. A tribe in New Guinea relies heavily on tradition. The market system relies on voluntary exchange to answer the three fundamental economic questions. Trade between buyers and sellers determines what is produced and for whom. Trade between producers and resource owners determines how things are produced. Resource owners who receive high incomes from their resources typically receive many goods and services because they can afford to buy more than resource owners who receive low incomes. Markets are locations, a farmer's market, for example, or mechanisms, NASDAQ, for example, that bring buyers and sellers together so that they may trade. A seller sells a good, service, or resource to the buyer, and the buyer pays the seller a price in exchange. Prices coordinate the activity of multitudes of people scattered around the world, convey crucial information, and provide incentives to buyers and sellers. Since price plays a central and crucial role in markets, the market system is also called the price system. The command system, or what I sometimes call command and control, relies on a king, dictator, or government bureaucrat, a committee or legislative body to determine what to produce, how to produce it, and for whom. Since the answers to the fundamental questions are often commands from a government official, I'll often call this system government. The list of command and control government regulations and proposals is long. Here are some examples from the United States. Speed limits, the requirement to have automobile insurance to register a car, the requirement to purchase health insurance that meets the minimum standards established by Obamacare, the requirement to educate children between the ages of 6 and 16. The Ohio River Valley Sanitation Commission limits mercury discharge into the Ohio River at 12 parts per trillion. And the Great Lakes Water Quality Initiative limits discharges into bodies of water in the Great Lakes Basin at 1.3 parts per trillion. You cannot have a pig on your property in Chesterfield County. You cannot fire a rifle in Henrico County. You must provide nutritional information about food and cans sold in grocery stores. You must have vaccinations to enroll your child in public schools. Laws exist against murder and theft. Laws exist to prohibit sexual harassment. The law requires businesses to make reasonable accommodations for people with disabilities. The law prohibits false incentive advertising. The law prohibits collusion and monopolization. The law requires most people to participate in Social Security. The law prohibits practicing medicine or law without proper credentials. Richmond has noise ordinances. The FDA requires that power companies install scrubbers to reduce how much mercury they emit. The law places restrictions on the sale or possession of sexual services, cigarettes, alcohol, and marijuana. Tradition plays a role in many decisions. For example, many people choose to be doctors because their parents are doctors. In some economies, tradition determines many of the decisions about what is produced, how it is produced, and for whom it is produced. What follows now is just two sets of check your understanding questions, work on them, and then you compare your answers with a screencast.